Oh, you guys found it? Okay, okay. Cool. Play it real quick. Yeah, I saw this and I was like, what the fuck?
There we go.
We'll see if Jubilee hits me back up. This 1 verse 25 show will be hilarious. Me and Feminist.
That'll be funny.
Yeah, it would be funny.
They did that in case their cases actually came to fraud.
That's
and they
time.
found fraud in the election.
That's time. Micah, please return to your seat.
My next claim is that Harris would be a better president for immigration and the border than Donald Trump.
Oh, man.
Oh, hey, what's up?
See the problem? Pause.
All right.
So here's the thing, bro. So, guys, immigration is dictated by something called the Immigration Nationality Act, INA, right? And immigration law is extremely nuanced and complicated. There's a reason why there's immigration attorneys that do this shit, and there's immigration courts. And most Americans have zero idea how immigration works. And, you know, this is kind of where it's like, if you're going to go ahead and talk about immigration or debate immigration, you need to have people that know what the fuck they're talking about.
People like
There
Zach.
is no way, like, and I can say this with 100% certainty, this is something that I would be happy to debate Destiny on, that Harris is better than Trump at all. Whatsoever. Because I worked under both administrations. So I know. You know what I mean? So let's play this a little bit.
You think he's biased?
Who, Destiny?
Yeah.
Well, of course, he's voting for Harris, so he's going to say that. But
Yeah.
there's no, it's irrefutable. It's demonstrably false that she's better for immigration than Trump. Let's hit play. But most people don't know immigration, so you can make crazy claims like that.
Gotcha.
So why would Kamala Harris be better than Trump on immigration?
Because I don't know if Trump even knows what's actually wrong with the border.
He does know what do you mean by that?
I think that Republicans don't know what is happening right now with the problems with their immigration system. A lot of people think that the issue is with illegal immigration. It's not. The problem is that our asylum process is completely and totally broken right now. And the problem is the only way to rectify that is to change the laws governing, or at least some of the regulations governing the asylum process. And when there was a bill on the table to do so, Donald Trump blocked it to keep the border open for an election issue. But as it stands right now, you could have the
All right, so that's a very nuanced thing. Asylum. So what is asylum, guys? Asylum is when you come to the United States and you basically say, oh, I can't go back to my country for fear of being killed or politically persecuted, whatever it may be. Is there an asylum problem in the United States? Yes. Do people abuse it a lot? Yes. Is the immigration system backed up? Yes. But asylum is a small percentage of the overall immigration problem that we have, because most people don't qualify for asylum. Most people get denied asylum. So for him to say, oh, asylum is the main problem, that's you're literally picking up quarters, right, when you're stepping over $100 bills. There's way bigger problems than asylum. Asylum is though it is broken, it is a broken system, and people use it depending on what country they're from, because asylum is heavily dictated by which country you're from. So for example, someone that is from Venezuela is going to have a way higher likelihood of getting an asylum claim approved than someone from Japan. Right? Because the country that you're from directly represents your likelihood of getting asylum, right? Incredible fear. But that is still a fraction of the immigration in the United States. It comes from asylum that he's trying to claim.
Also,
let's see what else.
Zach mentioned the actual process itself has been watered down. So I would argue the process of even immigration itself is watered down. So.
All right, let's keep going. So asylum is a very small part of the problem. It exists, but it's not, significant like that.
Strongest wall in the world with the best guns and all the people manning it, it would make zero difference on illegal immigration. They would still come up and claim asylum, and there's nothing you'd be able to do about it.
So do you think there's problems with illegal and illegal? That's what I'm hearing correctly?
Well, it's different classifications of immigrants, but like asylum seekers aren't technically illegal immigrants, even though Republicans call them that. When they're doing the asylum seeking process and millions of people are here waiting to hear their case, technically that's all legal, which is an issue.
Okay, but why would Kamala Harris be better than Trump? You said she understands it better. I think everybody understands the issue, but I think the Democrats and Republicans, at least the establishment, they don't want to fix the issue. So,
well, but so I don't think everyone understands the issue. So every single person sitting here doesn't believe me when I just said that the laws on the books and the asylum process are the main issue. They think it's just people illegally crossing the border, right? The reason why I think that the Democrats would do something is because
they're not enforcing laws on the books.
They are
people that shouldn't be here are here.
That's the issue. They're enforcing them.
Yeah, but there are people that are illegal here and they're not being sent back.
I mean, that's a that's a whole other deportation.
So they're not enforcing the law then?
Well, who's they?
The government.
Which one? The state governments or the federal
All
government?
of them.
Well, the federal government doesn't have the resources to go in and try and find every single potential illegal immigrant in the United States.
State governments have absolutely zero immigration authority. It's all federal. The states have zero immigration power at all. They don't do anything. And then as far as like people coming in and them, see, this is such a very complex topic, and he's really bastardizing the argument by saying that it's only asylum, because asylum is such a small portion. And here's the other thing too that people need to understand. When they come into the country, let's say they get an asylum claim accepted, then yes, they're allowed to stay in the country. They're technically undocumented, but they are documented because they have asylum paperwork. So they're legally in the country. They just can't leave, right? So what ends up happening is they have to wait several years a lot of the times to see an immigration judge, because immigration world is its own court system and it's extremely backlogged. And a lot of the reason why it's backlogged is because of asylum cases. But what Destiny's failing to tell you guys is there's also something called a lot of NTA RORs, which is notice to appears, where these aliens, right, that are coming in are getting processed with a notice to appear so they can see a judge in the future, and they're being released into the United States. Under Trump, this never happened, FYI. And this is something that no one will fucking tell you. Under Trump, all these motherfuckers were coming in and they were getting something called an expedited removal. All right? Write this shit down, guys. I'm going to break this down for you guys like systematically, okay? Under Trump, right? Illegal alien crosses into the United States, right? And I'm the only person that can fucking break this down because I was literally on the fucking border and I witnessed this with my own two eyes. Me and Zach. That's why we had that podcast and we went over this. Please go watch that episode, guys, if you really want to know the fucking problem immigration. Because the Democrats don't know this shit. Even the Republicans don't know this shit. People on YouTube don't fucking know this shit. All right? Unless you actually have worked in immigration as a federal law enforcement officer, because that's the only ones that enforce immigration, by the way, you're not going to know this shit. All right? And then on top of that, unless you worked on the southwest border, you really don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay? I worked on the southwest border and I saw this shit with my own two fucking eyes. All right? When I came in, right, under Trump, every single illegal alien that came to the United States that was caught and apprehended by Border Patrol, because Border Patrol is the ones apprehending them, they got something called an expedited removal, ER. Okay? That means that person was getting sent back to Mexico within 2 fucking weeks, kicking them out immediately, right? And the reason why that's important is because they don't burden our immigration system. They don't come into the country. They don't got to see an immigration judge. They don't got to fucking get paperwork, etc. They get sent back. No burden on immigration system and the immigration legal system. Very important because it's already fucking backlogged, right? Under Biden and Harris, which we talked about this in detail with Zach, please go watch that episode, guys, after this. The aliens were getting notice to appears, which heavily burdens our immigration system because now they're coming in, right? They're getting a court date, and then on top of that, they're coming into the country and staying, and they're giving an address of where they're going to be or where they're supposed to be. Well, guess what? A lot of times they go out into the fucking wind. They don't even see the judge. They go, they say they're going to be somewhere. 2-3 years passes. They try to give them their fucking notice to appear. They don't show up because they never got it, and they moved. These are illegal aliens, guys. A lot of times they don't hold real addresses, or they stay with their family member. That family member moves somewhere else. They move somewhere else, whatever the fuck it may be. So these aren't people that are going to stay at a stable address most of the time, right? So a lot of them go out in the wind like that. So under Harris and Biden, right, these notice to appears were going out like crazy. They were just getting them like fucking hotcakes, right? To put things in perspective for you, to get a notice to appear, right, to give it to an illegal alien was extremely difficult. I only gave notice to appears to my informants, okay, and people that were going to be witnesses on a case. That's the only way that NTA RORs were getting given. No other fucking way, right? But Biden and Harris come in, they're giving them out like fucking hotcakes. It used to be you needed to give an NTA ROR to people that you really needed to keep in the country for some type of reason, typically to be a witness or an informant on a case. But now they're just giving them out. And that's the fucking problem we have. It's not asylum. Asylum is a part of the problem, but it's not the main problem. It's a fraction of the problem, right? It's these fucking aliens that are coming in and being allowed to stay, given NTA RORs on top of the asylum, on top of the fucking broken immigration system we have, where the judges, right, are backlogged. Then, if we really want to talk about exploitation, let's talk about the most abused fucking visa in America. No one has ever said this shit, and I'm going to say it on air for you guys right now. The F1 fucking student visa. I said it. That is one of the most abused ways that people come to the United States. They use the F1 visa. They sign up for some bullshit fucking language school. They come here. They do one semester. They fail out, and then they go out into the fucking wind, and they just work and live their life.
ESL.
It's the most broken fucking way to come to America.
Yep.
Right? I know immigration because this is my shit. No one can touch me on this. That is the most broken system that we have. And guess what? That's a non-immigrant visa. That's not even a visa designed for immigration at all. And people use and abuse that fucking shit. F1 student visa, guys. One of the worst fucking things we have, because we have all these bullshit universities in America that don't really give a fuck about their students and them being enrolled and all this other shit. They let them fucking in, they pay their first year or semester, and then they go out into the fucking wind. That's the real fucking problem in America. One of the biggest ones that no one fucking talks about. F1 student visa abuse. So guys, quick word from our sponsor real fast. You know we don't mess around when it comes to leveling up, and that goes for your coffee too. If you're still drinking that sugary shit, you're already started your morning off wrong. 1775 Coffee's protein creamer is what real men use to start their day. 10 grams of whey protein per serving, designed to build muscle and boost metabolism. Most people are tossing whey protein into their coffee, but we took it a step further and made a creamer with whey protein already built in, no added sugar, just protein. They just dropped this protein creamer along with a whole new lineup. In addition to the classic dark and medium roast, you'll find new coffee pods and a brain-boosting mushroom blend that'll have you focused like a sniper locked in on CNN. Don't start your morning funding the woke mob and dumping garbage into your body. Do it right with 1775 Coffee. Use code FRESH to get 15% off. Guys, I'm drinking 1775 Coffee right now, man. As we walk it like we talk it over here, guys, and they got one that has a protein blend, man, so definitely go show them support. Shout out to 1775 Coffee. All right, let's keep going. But this is, I'm cooking too much right now. We'll keep going on with this debate or whatever. But this is shit that no one knows. Like, you have to be in this world to know it. You really have to be in this shit. Why do I know this? Because I used to go and chase these fucking F1 student visa guys that would fucking come in here and abuse their shit.
You know how many girls in Miami are still here on that visa? And it's like, what do you do for work? Oh, I'm a student. Oh, what are you studying? Biology. It's like, wait, hold on. When is school finished for you? Oh, I'm almost done. How long you been here? 7 years.
Yep.
I'm like, how are you still here?
It's one of the worst visas. It's one of the biggest weak points in our immigration system. And the funny part is that it's not even an immigrant visa. It's a non-immigrant visa, but people abuse it all the time.
And then they get married and then they stay.
Yep.
They just waiting to find a guy that's gonna take them in, and that's scary, bro.
Yeah.
They abuse that shit all the time.
There you go. Y'all heard it here first. I've never heard anyone ever on YouTube talk about this, ever. Because nobody knows, man. Everyone thinks they know immigration. They know the border. You niggas don't know shit. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. Half of you guys shouldn't be talking about immigration. All these political commentators on the right talking about immigration, that. Y'all niggas don't even know the real fucking problems.
I think when Zach and you talked about that topic, you guys broke it down in a way that nobody ever heard it before.
Yeah, because we're two guys that actually have enforced immigration. The guys that enforce immigration know the most about it because we know how the alien, because when an illegal alien is apprehended, they have to be processed in a certain way to be removed. Yeah. And the way they're processed dictates how much is going to burden our immigration system. So, and guess what? There's only like 4 agencies in America that have immigration authority. Border Patrol, Customs and Border Protection, the blue uniform guys, Office of Field Operations, HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, and ICE Enforcement Removal Operations. That's it. No one else really has Title 8 authority to do immigration enforcement. That's it. And there's only really 2 agencies that like remove aliens: Border Patrol and Enforcement Removal Operations. Sometimes Customs too.
Because from what I understood, it's very watered down.
Huh?
Not in HSI?
Huh?
HSI doesn't do removals, no.
Yeah.
Very rarely. I've removed maybe 5 aliens in my life. And typically it's because they're a witness of mine and they served their purpose, and then ICE ERO didn't want to take them. They're like, bro, you got immigration authority. We're not going to do it for you. So I just took them to the bridge and just dropped them off. But typically, no, you never want to do deportations yourself as HSI.
But this is why
I've done it
Zach
before.
got in trouble, because he exposed what was really happening behind the scenes too.
Yeah, shit's fucked.
Yeah.
When he was telling me what's going on, I was shocked. But here's the thing. Most Americans don't know what the fuck is. Like, he's saying all these acronyms and what's going on. So, like,
because I took it as it's watered down the whole process, so it's easier for them to come into the country and stay and have, back, like you said before, back up the system even more. That's what I understand from what he was saying.
That's a part of it. But
Yeah.
but the bigger problem is that they're basically they're letting them through is the problem. They're catching them and they're releasing them into the country.
In America.
That's the issue.
And
versus under Trump, catching them and sending them back immediately.
2 weeks.
Expedited removals is what they're called, ERs.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I'm watching this shit with Destiny, and I'm like, come on, man. Like, bruh. Like, and here's the thing. The people, the conservative people there that are debating him don't know what the fuck they're talking about either.
Also, it sounds crazy to hear that, but it's actually happening. So.
Yeah. Let's play a little bit more of this. But yeah, when it comes to immigration, bro, like, 99% of people don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Here in studio. You and Destiny.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to come and do it. I texted him. I said, bro, we should do a debate on this, but I don't know. He's probably fucking running around doing some shit. I don't know.
Okay.
He's been everywhere recently. But yeah, immigration, nah, man. We'll play a little bit more of this, and then we'll go to next.
There's a whole bunch of
we
issues.
just sent how many billions to Ukraine? Like, we have the money. We can hire people. There's a lot of people in this country, so it can happen.
So the majority of, like, 80% of the aid we send to Ukraine is in the form of, like, used weapons and stuff.
Right.
But secondly, it's just a matter of, even if you say we have the money for it, I mean, we would have to appropriate the funds for it and everything else to do it. Like, it's not a matter of simply saying, like, oh, we're going to triple the size of the DHS or ICE or whatever to do it.
But so now you're saying, so you want to be tough on immigration, right? And you think Kamala Harris is going to be tough on immigration?
Isn't that lady came on the podcast?
Speaking. Like, she's going to crack down on it, deport illegals, send them home.
I don't know. I'm not necessarily, I'm not talking about being tough on or deporting. I'm just saying that to fix the issue we have right now, which is way too many people coming in and claiming asylum. It's not good.
So the fix, we got to stop people coming in. So we need to
the issue is we need to stop the asylum process, or we need to figure out a way to make that better.
Right, but there's multiple
That's not the issue.
things that need to be fixed. It's a multifarious issue. And Kamala Harris originally says that ISIS is the KKK.
You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seats.
See if someone else can argue this better.
I'm Luke, by the way. Nice to meet you. So I just wanted to briefly talk about, you're talking about this Senate bill that failed the House. What is your argument with that? Because as far as my knowledge with this bill, it was $118 billion. That was the financial standing within this bill. Within that, $60 billion of that $118 billion was going to go towards Ukraine. Only I have the chart with me, only $20 billion was going to go towards the border. $10 billion was going to go towards Gaza, $14 billion was going to go towards Israel. This Senate bill was a bad
both
bill,
sides, awesome.
First off, and second off, it was just a disguising bill to give more money towards Ukraine. So you talk about the bill. That's
so just as a real quick thing. So this is the argument that was floated initially, but the problem is they tried to reintroduce this bill on its own, and it still failed.
But the bill itself was written poorly. Within the bill, they're going to cap what is the average weekly immigrations at 5,000. That's still way too many people.
Do you know what it's capped at right now?
What is it capped at?
Nothing. That's why it was a good idea.
But 5,000 is still way too much. Why don't they cap it at less?
What they allowed it to do, what they allowed it to do is it allowed it to say if there were too many people coming in, they could put a 2-week moratorium and completely shut down people that were coming to the country to seek asylum.
But
that was one thing that the bill would have allowed it to do. That right now they don't have the ability to do. They are doing their job.
These are for individuals.
They are doing their job.
These are the individuals that are not, or that are seeking asylum. Do you know how many individuals that seek asylum actually file their paperwork for asylum?
Well, if you're coming here to get a...
No, it's less than half.
If you're coming here to get a slip to go to court,
they're using asylum as an excuse. The process which comes with people that come for asylum, the easiest and most, I guess, used process, they come typically through San Diego or Arizona. They put these individuals on a freight train, send that train to New York. They house them typically at the Roosevelt Hotel. Other hotels in New York are also being used. Then they give them an identification bracelet that has a number, basically like Germany.
All of this is fine.
Please let me finish talking. I'm it doesn't matter. I'm respecting you. Have some respect.
Okay, let's talk about the asylum process.
Okay.
Right? If Democrats wanted to allocate more money to the judges to process the claims faster, to allocate more money to border security to make sure people were coming in illegally, and then to be able to put a moratorium if too many people were coming in, wouldn't all of these things help?
If only less than 50% of people that are actually coming for asylum are filing their paperwork, none of that matters. We should be starting.
How are you getting a slip to go to court for an asylum judge if you're not filing your paperwork?
What I'm saying is these people are using asylum as an excuse to get to America, to use our resources. Do you know how much money that we've spent? So there's two different types of immigrants.
That's true, but that's a fraction.
Two different types of illegal immigrants. There's gotaways and there's give-ups. Do you know what each one is?
What?
Catch and release versus
so give-ups are individuals that typically their families are typically asylum seekers that they intentionally want to get processed through border control. gotaways are typically criminals, which there's 14,000 murderers right now that are within our country coming through the border.
See, pause.
Gotaways alone.
Like, these guys don't know what the fuck they're talking about. When you cross into the country illegally, it's 8 USC 1325. Like, I've got this shit fucking memorized. Like, it's illegal entry. And then if you get deported and you come back in again, it's 8 USC 1326. Someone could fact check me on this shit. 8 USC 1325 is illegal entry, and then 8 USC 1326 is legal reentry. That's actually a felony. I've prosecuted that a couple of times. So, and you guys are probably wondering, what the fuck is 8 USC? 8 USC, guys, is the Immigration Nationality Act. That's the Title 8 is immigration. So, and then 8 USC 1324 is human smuggling, right? So, they're arguing over something that
pennies.
like they're arguing over pennies. Like we're talking about dollars. They're arguing over pennies. Like, yes, asylum is a problem. People do abuse it, but the problem is that a majority of people don't get asylum, and then the people that actually do file the paperwork for the asylum don't get it. So that's not what it is. Most of the aliens come in through sophisticated human smuggling organizations, right? These niggas aren't just running across the border and making it in. Like, they're using, because the thing is this, guys, and I don't know if you guys want me to explain this shit, but the way human smuggling works is you need to use a sophisticated pipeline of smugglers at different destinations on the route to the United States to be able to get in effectively, right? Without getting killed or eaten by coyotes or extorted or whatever. So that's another big problem here. If you guys want me to explain that, give me ones in the chat. If not two, we'll go to the next story, because I don't want to stick on this immigration thing and turn this thing into a Fed Reacts episode. So we'll see what you guys say. Let's do a poll. Let's go to the next story and then do a poll. But I don't want to like take this shit over and explain human smuggling and immigration, all this other shit. But what I will say is that these guys are literally fighting over pennies when we're talking about fucking dollars here.